Good morning.
Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Doctor.
Right. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Today we are going to we'll carry on with classification of parts of speech. We'll have certain criteria to identify each part of speech. So we'll have noun test, adjective test, that's in English and Arabic, of course, verb test, pronoun test, and finally, adverb test. So we have certain criteria to apply as we classify different parts of speech. These criteria apply to whatever language. We use universal criteria to describe and identify different parts of speech. So let's first skim through chapter 2, which is part of speech in English and Arabic. Let's discuss certain aspects, then we'll proceed to tests used to identify the open class and the closed class.
Doctor, which page?
Page 14.
16, Doctor.
Page 14. Let's have chapter 2, page 14. Page 14.
Yes, thank you, Doctor.
Yeah. Page 14. Now let's discuss it. I mean, we may accept some statements, but reject others. I mean, it all depends. So we have to have self-judgment and critical thinking. So who would like to read the first paragraph? We'll have the first paragraph, then we'll make some comments. Yeah. So who'd like to start?
May I read, Doctor?
Oh, yes.
Doctor, can I?
Yeah, okay. Let's have Osama first, then somebody else. Yeah.
Okay. Every word in a language has a grammatical category. English
Yeah.
classifies its words into 8 categories or parts of a speech: noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Arabic classifies its words into 3 parts of a speech: only noun, verb, and particle.
What do you think of this statement? Is it a matter of choice? I mean, do languages or do grammarians have the choice? I mean, to tell whether a certain language has 3, 4, or 6 categories?
No.
Or should we have some criteria? I mean, we do have some criteria, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, if we apply these criteria, then we get the exact number of parts of speech.
Yes, exactly.
Because each part of speech has its own category. It has its own category. Parts of speech, by the way, may be classified in 3 different ways. They may be classified by form, by the form of the word. They may be classified by the position of the word, position in the phrase, clause, or sentence. And they may be classified by function, the function each category performs. So I think it's crystal clear. If we apply these 3 criteria, form of the word, position of the word, function of the word. So if we have a structure like I have no say in the matter, there is no choice but to say that the word say here by position, yeah, and by function is a noun. No say. I have no choice. I have no say. I have no option. All these are nouns, aren't they?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, when we say a bright student,
Noun.
a bright student. Now, the position of bright,
It's
because it's followed by a noun,
pronoun.
makes it
Adjective. It's adjective.
makes it an adjective.
Yes.
So nobody can claim that bright, when it occurs here in this position, followed by a noun, is any other part of speech, is any part of speech other than an adjective. Now, adjectives, let's talk about the function of parts of speech. An adjective modifies a noun. An adjective modifies a noun. This adjective may precede the noun or follow it. So in English, it precedes the noun. In French, it follows the noun. In Arabic, it follows the noun. So in English, we have adjective, noun. In French, noun, adjective. In Arabic, noun, adjective. Al-mawsuf in Arabic follows the noun. That's the only difference between English and Arabic. It's a matter of position. The position of the adjective in Arabic precedes, in English it precedes the noun. In Arabic it follows the noun. But the fact that both languages have adjectives is well established. An adverb may modify a verb. An adverb modifies a verb or modifies an adjective. See what I mean? Now,
Yes.
an adverb, when we say he drives fast, here it's an adverb. It follows the verb and it modifies it. How does he drive? Fast. He drives carefully. How does he drive? Carefully. So it answers the question, how? Adverbs in English may also modify adjectives. That's extremely nice of you. That's awfully nice of you. Awfully nice. Awfully, and an adverb modifies the adjective nice. Of course, an adverb in English may precede the verb. So, for instance, we can say, I strongly agree with you. I strongly agree, or I agree strongly. We can have a split infinitive. So sometimes he decided to condemn the aggression strongly. He decided to strongly condemn the aggression or the attack. So we call this split infinitive when we have to do something. Between to and do, we have an adverb. There is no doubt, of course, that that pronouns refer to nouns. Pronouns refer to nouns. That's why they may occupy the same position as that of subject or an object. We have subject pronouns and object pronouns. So they occupy the position of a noun because they are used to refer to nouns. What else? Nouns, verbs. Now the verb is the nucleus of the sentence. It's the nucleus of the sentence. It's the verb which determines what nouns, what subject, and or object may precede or follow it. So when we have a verb like eat, can we say the stone ate chocolate?
No.
No. Yeah. Can we say he ate a stone?
No.
No.
No. Unless it's used figuratively.
Yes.
Unless it's used figuratively. Sometimes in movies, if you watch, sometimes they try to throw a mobile, for instance, at someone, and they say you are going to eat this. Eat it means that somebody is going to hit you with something. So that's figuratively used. But the verb to eat requires an animate human or plus animate plus human subject. So the subject which occurs with verb to eat must be either plus human or plus animate. It could be an animal. Eat. The cat ate the meat. So you have cat, which eats, and meat, which is edible, which can be eaten. So the verb is the verb which is the nucleus of the sentence. The verb determines what kind of nouns collocate with it, accompany it. Right. So here it looks more like every language has, and every word in a language has a grammatical category, Okay, if every word has a grammatical category and the morphological category as well. So if it's by form, it has a morphological category. If it's by position, syntax, then it has again a syntactic category or a grammatical category. So I can't see any reason why English and Arabic, for instance, should have that difference in classifying parts of speech, since every category is clear. Right. Parts of speech in English. Next, who's next?
Can I, Doctor?
Doctor, can
Sorry,
I?
who is that? Who is that?
Aya Hani.
Sorry.
Aya Hani.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. Go on.
Part of speech in English. The English part of speech may be grouped in a variety.
In a
Of ways.
variety.
Variety
Yeah,
of
in different. That is
ways.
yeah.
1. Nouns and pronouns can make one group because they both may occupy the subject slot or the object slot, and because pronouns may refer to or replace noun.
Yeah, of course. Pronouns replace nouns. And both may occupy the subject position or the object position. That's why we have different types of pronouns. We have subject pronouns. We have object pronouns. Now, subject pronouns precede the verb. Object pronouns follow the verb. This is why it's maintained that English, the word order of English is subject, verb, object, which means that we have the subject first, followed by the verb, followed by an object. That's why the word order is subject, verb, object. Yeah. Right. Yeah, carry on, please.
Yes.
2, yes.
Nouns, pronoun, number 2, Dr. بدك أكمل?
Yes, please.
Yes. Noun, pronoun, and adjective may form one group because noun and pronoun are to be modified and adjectives are to modify them.
Yeah. So nouns are modified by adjectives. That's again the function and position of an adjective. The function of an adjective is to modify a noun. In English, it precedes the noun. In Arabic, it follows it. Right. Okay. Thank you. Somebody else?
Can I,
Doctor,
Doctor?
can I?
Yeah, sure. Is that Aziz?
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah. Okay. 3.
Okay. Yeah, nouns and verbs may form one group since they are essential components of the sentence, unlike the other parts of speech, which often function as either optional addition or grammatical connectors.
Okay. Okay.
4. Verb and adverbs may form one group because adverb function as modifiers of verb.
Yeah, because I mean they modify verbs, prepositions. Yes.
Prepositions may be grouped with noun and pronoun because preposition govern noun and pronoun.
Because
Preposition.
okay. Because prepositions govern nouns and pronouns. Now, when we have a preposition like in, when we say the birds are in the tree. So prepositions are followed by nouns, aren't they? Something is on the table. On is a preposition followed by a noun, or followed by a gerund. Gerund, that's verb with ing form. For instance, we say, this paper. Now look at this. This paper aims to examine. It aims to examine, because to here is, I mean, it's followed by a verb because it's an infinitive form. He decided to leave. He decided not to join the meeting. So to here is followed by the base form of the verb. But we say, this paper aims at examining something. So it's followed by a gerund. At, yeah, by gerund form. So prepositions, generally speaking, are followed by nouns. When we have to, it's followed by an infinitive form. Right. Yeah, carry on.
Can I, Doctor?
Ruqayya, yes.
Yes, Doctor. Verb 6 صح؟
Yeah, 6.
Prepositions and conjunctions might make one group as functional, unlike the other parts of speech, with basically function as context words.
Remember last time we classified words into an open class and a closed class. The closed class is referred to as grammatical words, grammatical elements, because they are used to, when we have conjunctions, they join. Their function is to join words, nouns, adjectives, sentences, phrases, clauses, etc. While the open class, nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs are lexical items. We call them lexical items. Lexical items, that's to say content words. So the word man is different from in. The word man stands for a noun with certain characteristics, features, while the word in or on, but these are connective or connecting elements. Their function is to join. They have a grammatical function. That's why they call them grammatical words. Right. Okay. Now let's have parts of speech in Arabic. Yeah.
Hi, Doctor.
Can I, Doctor?
Yeah. Who's that?
Dina.
Okay, Dina.
Arabic grammar gives the 3 parts of speech, as Table 8 shows: nouns, verbs, and particles. This 3 classifications does not mean that Arabic does not have what English has. In most cases, it is a matter of differences and classifications. In Arabic, the term noun covers what English labels as noun, pronouns, adjectives, and adverbs. The Arabic particle covers 3 English parts: preposition, conjunctions, and introductions. The two languages have no disagreements on the verb label. The term verb in both languages covers a very much similar content.
Well, what do you think of this classification? I mean, how valid is it?
No, it's
I
wrong.
mean, since we have eight parts of speech, I mean, why consider adjectives, adverbs, etc. as nouns?
Doctor, it's an old
Doctor,
it's
No,
an
I mean,
old
this is
classification.
it's not a matter of Arabic grammar gives three parts of speech. It's because Arab grammarians, Arab linguists, 1,000 years ago, at that time, most languages at that time, Greek, Latin, and other languages, recognize, I mean, scholars or linguists who wrote on such languages recognized at that time only two parts of speech. So why stick to this classification in the 21st century after a millennium? So why call an adjective a noun? Why call an adjective a noun when it has its own identity? So I think it's
wrong, yes.
yeah, it is. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about this. I mean, if you check As-Suyuti, for instance, have you read Al-Muzhir al-Suyuti? It's
No.
2 volumes. Yeah, it was written centuries ago. He recognizes more than 30 forms of adjectives. 30 forms of adjectives, more than 30 forms of adjectives. Yeah. So adjectives have their own identity. Adverbs do the same. Prepositions, pronouns, conjunctions. Why not call it an adjective if the noun test doesn't apply to them? So I think we need to do something about this. I mean, the Ministry of Higher Education, I mean, universities, I mean, they should do something about this. It's high time to stop thinking in terms of the 10th century, simply because some scholars at that time, I mean, they were pioneers in the field. You know, at that time, they were pioneers in the field. I mean, those who wrote on syntax and who produced 7 volumes of Arabic grammar, no doubt were genius at that time. They were pioneers in the field. They wrote they established new sciences. I mean, Avicenna wrote on phonetics centuries ago. The table of contents of his book is more or less the same as that of O'Connor's book, Phonetics, which was published in the 20th century. So they were pioneers, no doubt. Our job is to reflect on some of their classifications and try to, you know, modernize this classification. It's not changing the grammar of the language or corrupting the language. All we need to do is reclassify what has been classified as 3 parts of speech ages ago. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's have the differences. Next, page 16. Simply just a minute. Right. Page 16, language differences.
May I, Doctor?
Can
Yeah,
I,
sure.
Doctor? Doctor,
Sure.
can I?
Yeah, Dania. Page,
Yes.
page 16, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Language
Differences.
differences. Arabic can classify adjective and adverb as noun, but English cannot do the same. In Arabic, adjectives and adverb behave exactly like nouns. They can be singularized, dualized, and pluralized as noun. Example: ولد، ولدان، أولاد، ذكي، ذكيان، أذكياء. They can be masculinized and
Masculinized.
feminized.
Yeah. Masculinized.
Masculinized and feminized as nouns. ذكية. They can take the definite al as a noun. الولد ذكي.
And so what?
كمان.
No, and so what? I mean, what this signifies is that in English there is no agreement. There is no agreement between adjectives and nouns in terms of number and gender. This is what he means to say.
Yes.
It's not that they are nouns. Adjectives can't replace nouns, can they? Can they replace nouns?
No. Maybe sometimes.
Of course not.
No.
They are
No,
used to describe or modify nouns. But in English, we say the clever boy, the clever boy. We say the clever girl, the clever boys, the clever girls. In other words, the adjective has one form with singular, dual, plural, masculine, and feminine. Because in English there is no agreement. English has lost a lot of its basic features across time, because of language change. So English, for instance, has lost gender. Now we say professor. Can we tell whether a professor is a male or a female?
No, we can't.
No.
No, we can't. We say doctor. The professor is absent today. Is it a he or a she? We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They arrived late, for instance. They arrived late. Who are they?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah. Is it singular? Is it masculine? Feminine?
We don't know.
Plural? Dual? So that does not make, I mean, the fact that English has lost some of its features does not mean that nouns and adjectives are identical, of course. In Arabic, we say, al-waladu al-dhakiyu. Singular, masculine. Al-fatatu al-dhakiyatu.
Singular, feminine.
Yeah. الولدان الذكيان دول masculine. الفتاتان الذكيتان. There is full agreement. There is full agreement. There is full agreement between adjective and noun. For instance, we say الفتيات الذكيات. Yes?
Yes.
Feminine, plural. Okay. But what do we say? القطط. What do we say? القطط الذكيات. Can we say that?
No.
Look at this. Look at this. I mean, there's agreement even in terms of plus and minus human. So if it's human, we say al-fatayatu al-dhakiyatu. Okay, but if it's قطط, then we say
القطط الذكية.
ذكية. الأسود, what do we say? المفترسات, المفترسين, or المفترسة.
مفترسة.
So there is full agreement, but that doesn't make المفترسة a noun. It's an adjective,
Yes.
which modifies the noun. Okay, so just ignore this. I mean, I'm not happy with this statement because that does not make it even adding the definite article. By the way, we say in English we say the clever boys. The clever boys. So the precedes the adjective and is not used again with the boys. So it's not the clever the boys. In Arabic we say al-awladu al-adhkiya'u. So we add the definite article al to a noun, to nouns and adjectives. But that does not make them nouns. Okay, we have the noun test, page 16. Let's have the tests.
Yes.
What makes a word a noun? What makes a word a noun? Now, this is what matters most. So we have criteria to follow, to apply. Okay, what makes a word a noun? In other words, what is the nominality test in English and Arabic? Nominality, that's the adjective of noun. That's the noun nominality. That's the noun of noun. The noun, the adjective of noun is nominal. Then we have nominality, al-ismiyya yani. Okay, plurality test. If a word takes the plural morpheme, it is a noun in both languages. So if it accepts the plural suffix or the plural morpheme, then it's a noun. Doors, children, معلمون, أولاد, معلمات. So in معلمون we have the waw noon. That's a suffix, a plural suffix. أولاد is irregular form. معلمات is regular form, but it's feminine, human feminine. Then we have the genitive test. If a word in English takes apostrophist, that is, it is a noun. Boys. This test is not applicable to Arabic. Of course, there's no we can't add an S, but we do have المضاف والمضاف إليه.
Yes.
قلم الولد. قلم الولد. قلم الطالب. هذا مضاف ومضاف إليه. The order in English we have noun followed by apostrophe S followed by another noun. Yeah. While in Arabic we have the noun first followed by al-mudaf ilayh. So qalam is mudaf ila al-walad. Yeah.
ولد.
قلم الطالب. In English it's the student's pen.